Hi guys. All right, I'm just gonna go with what was given to me as of this morning, or last night actually. I had came. Can you see me? 'Cause I have to. I'm not going into work till like noon, so I won't be home until late. So I'm cooking right now. Otherwise nobody will eat. Seriously. Otherwise they'll go and get some food that's not good for them. So I have no choice. But anyway, to make sure this gets done right now at 10 o'clock in the morning. Um, So I don't even know what I was watching. It came up in my feed yesterday. This guy's video, um, his testimony, not his testimony. There's two videos I want to talk about. One is a testimony, um, and the other is just referring to my video before the eclipse, the day of the eclipse, the morning of, because I was told to come out and definitely be speaking. I was supposed to be speaking August 7th, and that was confirmed because I've been talking about the 144,000 and these gifts for a long time now. As it's been brought into me as that's what it is. So it didn't. So we talked about a video. Okay, so no, let's go. Okay, so my confirmation to get back on the 7th was because I had made a video once before that had spoken of how I was meeting people who were like me in the knowledge of me. And there was this one specific girl who I worked with, who I believe she was like me, but didn't have the full knowledge, okay? And I talk about her in this video. I don't know if you guys remember. I don't want to get too deep into it. But I had spoken of how I believe she's just like me, how I believe she's a divine feminine, part of, obviously I speak of how that's the truth. The 144,000 will show. There's no other way about it because that's the truth. So, I mean, until you understand that that's the truth, that's their job to show you that truth. So I've always had a real problem. Like, you guys know on my channel, I've really been kind of random, like kind of confused of exactly what my position or my purpose and what I was speaking on was supposed to be. I always knew, I was led through the twin flame thing, so I had to learn like what that was and what that really meant, but which led me to seeing it within the biblical meanings as Michael led me to see. I've always gotten that. Like, this is what was promised. This is how you differentiate his true children, those that sit next to Jesus, the 144,000, than everybody else, the multitude, and those who aren't part of the multitude, okay? There's a difference. There's like, in a sense, that is like Jesus, then the multitude, and that's kind of what the churches have always taught you, is that you're below that, you're below him, okay? So you have to understand his brothers and sisters know that they sit next to him. This is their truth. So I had been led to see another video that was talking about these superpowers that come when with Jesus. They say in the rapture. This is what they keep saying. In the rapture, you'll get these superpowers, okay? But Christians, okay, hold on. Because if you're still speaking on that rapture, that old school bullshit that you learned in church, where you think as a Christian, you prayed, you believed, and now you're going to be raptured up, and you don't have to deal with the tribulation, I'm sorry to have to say to you, you've been completely fucking fooled. Like, that is ridiculous. So you think that God is going to lift you up, which he is giving his children these powers, these supernatural powers that people keep talking about. It's not no fucking supernatural. They just understand their connection to him. This is why they have that power. Because Lucifer took that power from you. But his children were promised to find their power again, to find their home again. This is what you don't understand. It's not going to be no. And then why the hell? What kind of logic? You think you're going to get raptured up? and get all these great gifts to sit there for 7 years while the rest of the world suffer, and the true children who sit next to Jesus, the 144,000, are down here suffering with them or going through it because they're not going to suffer because they have these abilities. Obviously, they're detached from the reality that Lucifer has put upon your mind. They don't connect to that. That's bullshit. They understand that. But to logically think that you can maybe get these powers as a Christian, right? When you're raptured up, why think, use your head. Why would God place these powers upon you? You're just going to be raptured up into heaven for 7 years, okay? You're going to have these great powers and be so happy while the rest of the world is suffering, and those that sit next to Jesus are down here doing work, suffering, and for some reason, you think you're just going to sit up there with powers and not have to do nothing? No. If you're given those powers, you're coming right back, okay? This is what you guys don't understand about this catching up. It's a spiritual body. Your spiritual body is caught up. That's what it is. And that's when the sanctification of the knowledge of his children is sanctified. That's it. Okay? That's it. And on the 23rd, whatever's happening, all it is to make you motherfuckers aware of the time that you're in. Because for some reason, you don't understand that you're sitting in the tribulation right now. For some reason, you thought you were going somewhere. So when this man, because the church has lied to you, okay? Because I am a Christian, but I understand the difference between Ascension and Rapture, okay? And I understand that word is not in the book, and I've done my homework, and I've been led by Spirit to understand that shit is, it's such a delusion to you. You're not going anywhere, first of all, okay? First of all, you're not that special. Jesus had to walk, Jesus had to suffer, Jesus had to teach, Jesus had to show. Those like him will have to do the same. So for you to think that you're so special that you're going to be somewhere else, and you don't have to go through shit, get your mind out of the... Come on. That's not what that damn book teaches. That's not what that book teaches. That's what your pastor taught. There's the catching up doesn't mean your physical body. It means your spiritual body. Your spiritual body will be poured when you are caught up and sanctified with the knowledge of God, his true children, and then be sent back down, and you will be here in the physical, and you'll be helping those see the truth that they do not see. Quit saying rapture if you're a Christian. Quit saying that shit. I'm serious. I'm sick of hearing that shit. I grew up in the churches my whole life. I'm more the Christian than most people, because I see and hear. I understand the spiritual world that you think is somewhere else. Okay, you keep searching for the spiritual world. We know this is the devil's playground. The spiritual world, you are in it. You already coexist with it. Right? So if you're a child of God, if you're a true child of God, and you understand that, guess what? Lucifer has no hold over you. He has no power over you. Because you see right through the bullshit of this world. You see right through the bullshit of what people have latched onto because their mommy and daddy taught them. This is the way to go because my mommy and daddy said it so. Then they took me to church and my pastor said so. So this is the way to go. Bullshit. Because I've been taught by a lot of pastors, a lot of whatever. And I'll tell you what, the only person leading me, the only person teaching me is my king, my brother, and those I'm sent to learn through wisdom provided by the Spirit and using them as a vessel to speak. So all this bullshit that people think they're going somewhere, stop it. And that has always been my purpose on my channel because I've gotten on it many times. That really bothers me because you will get lost. Because most of you who think you're going somewhere don't go somewhere. You're going to lose faith. You're not going to maintain shit. And it's through the 144,000 that are sent here to teach you that if your heart seriously searches for God, you will learn. But you will understand that God's true children, just like Jesus, understand mind and heart combination. Okay? That's what a lot of Christians lack. You know, seriously, that's what a lot of Christians lack. I went to my grandma's, I was like 3-4 weeks ago talking to my grandpa and grandpa. My grandpa's a pastor, a Christian pastor, okay? Okay, so I know your old school ways. I know that shit that's on the church. You're not going to argue with me, okay? Because I have my arguments prepped and prepared. I really do. Because I've been getting this shit for the last 2 years. Just like the Bible says, 144,000 will prove with scripture their truth, and you will not listen. That is most Christians. That is most Christians. That is most people who go to church every single Sunday. Most of them. So for you to think that you have some type of name, you better really, really be seeking for that one-on-one connection. Because if you think you have a special title through man-made bullshit and doctrine, okay, you're sadly mistaken. That's why you're going to be all confused when all the shit goes down and you're still standing here. Because you thought your asses were going somewhere. I'm serious. That shit pisses me off. That people still believe that shit. I don't understand how you can say you're a Christian. Christians are supposed to be led by God. Are you or are you not? So why do the majority of Christians not know this shit? Because you're not led by God. And, like, it's common sense, guys. Think about it. Okay, so there's scrolls of Daniel, because everybody wants to say, follow the Bible. And I get that. I'm not down in that book. You understand that? Because I'm shown through that book the truth. And the truth, and that book is what proves my arguments against you. So I love that book. Believe you me, I love that Bible. And I love the gift that I have that is just poured upon my spirit. And I just go to where it tells me and it just makes sense. I love that gift. And I can't let that gift go because not a lot of people have that gift. So that is special to me. That is very special to me. And that's why I've always kind of always knew that, like, my channel, like, in a business sense, may not profit or, like, do what I needed it to do. Because when you speak truth, like, if you want to go with the twin concept, you only want to hear certain shit that you want to hear. Okay? And then when you go to Christians, it's 10:44 as we speak right now, okay? So I'm going to continue to speak. I'm going to continue to talk. Listen, I have to laugh because if you don't understand that when you talk about the mother and you talk about women, because I know a lot of us can get, we're loud. Some of us are really loud, you know, and we've had to learn, like, when to be loud, when not to be loud going through this journey. Because especially if you went through your dark night of soul, you probably, well, at least me, I've done some crazy shit. I mean, I've yelled, I've snapped, I've jabbed, like, about stupid shit that I had no business even paying attention to. I've done it all, okay? But when I'm talking about God and I'm yelling, okay, it's because it's seriously, it's just the time. I mean, it's just the time. And I will always do what I was sent here to do. I will always do what I was sent here to do. Just like those who were sent here as well will also do that. But here's the problem, guys. Here's the problem. If you don't seriously know the difference between rapture and ascension at this point, you need to learn it. Stop calling yourself a Christian. Stop telling me you know you're going somewhere. Stop that bullshit. Bullshit. Because I've been in the churches and I've had the armor of God placed on me my entire life. I was born with this shit. But you know what? I'll tell you what. There was a darkness that clouded me my whole life. And this has been confirmed to me twice in my life. There was one time, right after I met my twin, that I went to college, okay? I was in school, and I was outside smoking a cigarette at a table. And it was winter time. It was cold, I remember that. And I was by myself, like, on the patio. And some kid came up to me and told me, you know you have the darkest aura I've ever seen in my life, okay? And he's like, I don't mean to be rude to you, I just have to tell you the truth. Well, I was kind of a bitch to the dude in the sense where I was like, what are you talking about? Like, who walks up to somebody and says that? Like, get away from me, cool. I have a dark aura. What are you saying? I'm the devil? What's wrong with you? Like, what do you mean by that? He's like, that's not what I mean. And like, I kind of just told him, like, whatever, just go over there. I wasn't talking to you. I wasn't bothering. Don't come up to somebody. That's rude. Talk about an aura that I can't see. How do I know it's really there? Or do you just walk up to me to talk to me to say some shit? Like, so you could talk to me? What's wrong with you? That's weird. Okay. So I always remember that. Then I talked about on a video how over the summer I gave a reading to a man, okay? And they told me they had a gift to see. And he said, before you tell me my stuff, I want to show you what I can see, okay? Because he didn't talk to a lot of people about his gift, because he didn't like to talk to people about his gift, because he's a man. He doesn't want to go around telling people that he has this gift. Like, he knows, people understand that, oh, that's crazy, okay? I don't believe in that shit. Christians, especially, there's a lot of shit you don't believe in, but the spiritual world is really here, always has been. So use some spiritual logic. Not this physicality, rationality that you motherfuckers have been taught by man. Makes no damn sense. Okay? Just because you were caught up, I've said this before. Who said the physical body? Who told you your physical body was going somewhere? Who said that? Nobody. Use your brain. This is a spiritual walk. Anybody who knows Jesus knows that. So why the fuck would your physical body go somewhere? No, your spiritual body goes somewhere. You're going to get whatever, just like Jesus, the 144,000, and then they come down here and show you the truth because their knowledge has been sanctified. Not that bullshit you've known your whole life or for all the other centuries. Doesn't make any damn sense. I mean, come on. If you're a godly person, if you're a child of God, you need to be rational in the sense of your spirituality and not what men have taught you. This is not a physical walk. This is a spiritual walk. And your spiritual world is real fucking here. Like the angels are here. They talk to you. They're fucking here. That shit pisses me off with Christians. I don't like that shit. And you know what? On my channel, I'll tell you what, this is why this has been my purpose. I have such a heart for Christians because I grew up in the church. I grew up with those lies. But I thank God, my King, every day that I see right through that devilish bullshit. You weren't fucking fooling my motherfucking ass. I wasn't going with anybody's flow. I've always beat it to my own damn drum. I'm an Aquarius, and I'm not a nice person. I'm going my way. I'm a very stubborn ass person. Anybody who knows me knows that. It's Jessica's way. Unless you're a wise person and I see and I can see and you're trying to teach me and lead, then I'll follow you, of course. That's how I get my wisdom. I see who is wise and I do follow the wise, okay? So my spirit guides me to that. The children will know who they are because they just know it. They feel it. It's embedded inside of them. I go into the rooms, your mind, in the rooms of heaven, okay? Learn something. Talk about the ordinances of heaven. You can bring down earth. Yeah, guess what? The 144,000, you can bring heaven to earth. The 144,000 are fully aware of this, okay? But I will say that this man's video, I'm not mad at this man. This has nothing to do with him or what he said. I'm trying to teach him. He said, can somebody else teach on this if you understand it? And I've been talking about it for so long, and I'm going to say what I have to say that I've gotten from this video. And it is what it is. And, so, as far as him saying that word rapture, it had nothing to do with him as a person. Nothing. No. Actually, I wanted to make this video so I can show him kind of why I'm saying that about the rapture, okay? Learn more about that rapture. Learn more about that rapture, okay? So raping of women, that's what that means. The raping of the divine feminine power, that's what that means, okay? In John, when Jesus is about to go die on the cross, he tells you, when Mary washes his feet, when you proclaim my gospel, you will remember her. Christians have been proclaiming the gospel with no acknowledgement of her, going against what Jesus has told you to do. And then you want to go and a Christian, when I start saying this, okay, because you can't argue with me when it's poured upon me in spirit. You can teach and you can kind of say, okay, I see where she's going with this. You'll kind of know, even if I might be a little, not like 100% on point, because listen, when you get messages, like I may say something, and it might not make exactly sense, but guess what? In 3 days, when something comes to me, it's gonna okay, that's just how it goes. I mean, so it's nothing against him, but I'm starting to understand this has always been aggravating to me. Like my purpose, like this, my spirit is drawn to making you understand the difference. My spirit is drawn to making you see the days that we're already in, not the days that are coming. The days that we are already in, it's coming to an end. Do Christians seriously believe? First of all, your tribulation wasn't supposed to start till you were gone. You really think you're going somewhere and the tribulation hasn't already started? Oh my Lord. What does the churches fucking tell you guys? Seriously. What are you learning in there? Like, go with your signs. I mean, come on. If you go by the signs, we're already in the walking days. All right? And if we're in the walking days, then you were supposed to be out of here before this shit started. So clearly, God has already proven you're not going anywhere. All right? And this sanctification, this spiritual catching up, this ascension has already been going on. And his children have already been being prepped. That's it. So on the 23rd, because this man's video did get really good in the sense that he did say, he said, I don't know how to explain it, but it's coming to me. And he's talking about the revealing of God's children and their liberty. Okay? Let me tell you something. Their liberty means they're freed from being bound by Satan's ways, by Satan's mentalities. You guys have bounded your minds, okay? The way that most of the world thinks is in no way godly. And I don't mean doing drugs or having sex. No. I mean, you have no acknowledgement of your connection. That's what I mean. And that is sin, okay? That is the sin. That you continue to live in this world. Because you don't understand the reality of, they call it the 5D. I'm just going to call it the spiritual world. What do you mean? And don't you ever call yourself a Christian if you don't know that it's different. And how can you say that you know Jesus is the truth if you are living like there is definitely shit here already? You don't know Jesus is truth if you're still talking about that rapture shit. Because it's called Ascension. So I would learn something, okay? I would pray on it and I would learn. And if you want to sit here and say, well, the Bible says only him or whatever. First of all, Jesus said, when you proclaim my gospel, you will acknowledge and remember her. There's a masculine and a feminine essence within that truth, within that gospel that you are supposed to proclaim. And not Christians do not proclaim both within. Okay? Well, that's not what the Bible says. The Bible says this. No, but that's what Jesus said. And I don't care what anybody else says. If his truth is the way and the light, then his is the only one that you should follow. So whose gospel are you proclaiming? This is what I want to know. And until that truth is told, we are told no one's going anywhere. That is what we're told. So stop thinking you're going somewhere unless you know that shit to be true. Now, if you're going around saying this shit's the truth, and that's why I'm going somewhere because I know Jesus is truth, then that's cool. But most people who think that, and if you did know Jesus is truth, then your ass is pretty fully aware that you're staying here. That's pretty much what it is. I'm sorry. But if you still think you're going somewhere, and you don't know that combination of both, seriously, it's to your own detriment. And this is the revealing. Whatever happens on the 23rd, I'm not here to make whatever. And I don't really get into that. All I know is I said that the knowledge will be sanctified. And he's talking about it will be revealed, okay? And the knowledge that the 144,000 have, frees them. You understand? Because they understand they're above this physicality, duality, illusion that Satan has placed upon you. Okay? They understand the drop of the masculine and the feminine. They understand that the illusion placed over them as they dropped and what they got sucked into, they see it fully and clearly because they've been wakened up to it. So unless you see this shit fully and clearly, I feel like you need to stop saying that shit about the rapture. That's what I'm going to say. And I was always like, why do I got to yell on my videos when I speak about this? But that's how fucking imperative it is to your spiritual life. Because if you're dead spiritually, you're dead all the way around. That's the truth. And I always was like, you know, as a woman, because sometimes I'm like, why do I gotta scream? Why do I gotta yell? Why do? Because you don't get the point across. You don't get the point across, okay? God is sending his daughters to scream and yell. Let me tell you that. His daughters, those part of the 144,000 that are his daughters will be screaming and yelling and have no damn care about, they've been doing it lifetime after lifetime, screaming and yelling about crazy shit. Now they're screaming and yelling about the truth of their king. You think that they're not going to be yelling? You think that they're not going to make you hear? They're going to make you hear because they want you to know. And I always laugh because Archangel Revelations Prophecies. You're a Christian, you want to learn some shit? Archangels Revelations Prophecies 444. Please go learn, okay? And donate while you do. If you're going to church donating on a pastor who ain't telling you shit, take your ass to him, learn some real shit, because I'm sorry, tribulation, I don't know what you're talking about. We're already in that shit. What are you talking about? Are you a fool? You gotta be a fool. But what does it say? What did Paul say? He's not a fool, but those who follow him are the fools. So, I mean, most are fools. Clearly. The only one I'm following is Yahshua, my king, my brother. Okay? That's the only one I'm following. And it has nothing to do with, like, superpowers. Like, yeah, you're gonna be... They can do whatever they want. They understand their connection. They understand it. That's all that is. Alright? So, superpowers, just godly ways, whatever you want to call it what you will. But they're kings and queens who stand next to their brother. And with them come truth, and with them come judgment. And from what I see, most of them come from struggle, prosperity, or struggle, poverty, whatever. Sex, drugs, rock and roll, all of, whatever. They had to walk through the darkness. I don't think anybody who's a child of God has not walked through the darkness and understood that shit. They will have a heart for those who have not lied upon Scripture, but were blinded by the devil. They will have a heart for them. Just like God will have a heart for them, but you still need to be led to the truth. And if you have a heart for God, Spirit will lead you. And through his children, you will learn the combination of heart and mind. And this is going to be, that's just it. So if you want to talk about them getting their superpowers, the children will rise. They will rise, and they will show the way for the multitude. And their prayers will bring down the second coming, like I said. So whatever's happening on the 23rd, you guys are going to realize. Shit has been happening already. And you're still here. What are you going to do then? What are you going to do then? Hopefully you follow people who understand that this shit is bullshit. Who ain't going to be scared of shit. It's bullshit. It's all bullshit. It is. Guess what? They got a protection. They got an ultimate protection. Ain't shit happening to the 144,000 in that book during the dying days of the devil's world or domain. Seriously. I feel like I'm talking more than I'm cooking. All right. Don't mind me. I had to get this video out, and I have to multitask. I do. I have to multitask. It's the only way I get everything done in a day. When I first started my journey, I'd be like, doing these videos take away from my cooking, my cleaning. I still have to do all this on top of work, on top of school, blah, 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 blah. It's a lot, and I did it for the most part. And now I'm just learning to multitask because I'm going to be out here a lot more. Obviously, people are not getting it. That shit really hurts my heart. It hurts my heart that people don't understand the difference between Rapture and Ascension. It really hurts my heart that you could call yourself a Christian. It really hurts my heart that you could be my age and not know the fucking difference. And then it really hurts my heart that you can claim the name Jesus and not know his truth. That shit hurts my heart. What's wrong with you? How can I be and see, but you can't? But you think you're going somewhere. Again, search for truth. Again, search from God. Again, use all that opportunity that was given to you, especially if you're in my country, America, all that schooling, all that rational, logical thinking, all that processing. Please do that shit when you're at church using the Bible. Please do that. Process with the Spirit, please. Use your rational mind correlated with your spiritual mind, and I promise you, God will help you find everything you need to know. And until you do that, stop claiming that you're a child of God. Because God's children have sound minds and do that shit. So if you haven't even started there, sit down and learn something, please. And I'm going to have to put Christians and Rapture in this video. So I'll get a whole bunch of views. And I'm taking the comments off. Guess what? Because I don't need to hear your shit. I know who I am. I know what time of day it is. Do you? That's the problem. Do you? No. You don't. That's why God has me yelling. Like, please let them know, Jessica. I'm going to let them know. So anyway, the revealing, September 23rd, he's talking about, and man, God really did guide him, because I was like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. That's kind of what I was saying in my messages, like, pretty much, yeah, that the gifts are going to be revealed and sanctified soon, and knowledge will be shown, and people are going to start knowing this. People are going to start understanding of the real truth, okay? That's just what it is. And that's why I said, speak. Because when whatever happens and they realize they're here, they're going to be, like, searching. Because if they're really, really seeking God, even when they're left, they will still find him. So, it is your job to speak the truth. And when they come to you, there you go. That's why God is using his children for those. Because he feels bad for you too. Is it really your fault that you've been lied to? Is it? I don't know. But I promise you this. Those that are sanctified with that knowledge and with those gifts, they never believe that bullshit. Whether it's because they seen it their whole life and seen the hypocrisy and seen, like, dude, that doesn't even make sense. I was also talking to so my grandma, when I was talking to her, I'm like, I don't get mad at her, but I just understand that she has the logic that most Christians have when the separation. They have this, Jessica, but they don't have this. Okay, yeah, and you have this, but you don't have this. Like, spiritually. You have a physical mind frame, but you don't have a spiritual mind frame. Your heart seeks for God spiritually, but you have yet really connected that shit. Like, with the truth. Because it can only be connected from you through the, like, whole sanctification of God. That's it. That is a power. To have your brain full force, to understand you're consciously in control, that God gave you this ability. Pretty sure the twin thing has led you to that truth, at least, right? I thank God every day for the people who have seen it like me, or maybe not exactly like me, and I've learned, and I don't know everything, okay? I will never say I do, but I do know the basis of this divine masculine, divine feminine, biblically sense, in the biblical sense. And I know that you can't know that truth without that combination. That's what I know. And I'm so glad that I have been led to people who understand that. Because if I wasn't, I don't know what I would do. God would never do that to you. He would never make you feel alone when you're doing his work. And for some reason, they think they don't have to be down here doing work during the tribulation. Like, you're special. You're not special. We're all doing work. We all have to be here. Okay, so the revealing, yes, I believe whatever's going to happen, we'll do something, we'll reveal this. Like, chaos or whatever, and you're just going to be, like I said, standing there in your own little world, like, everything's fine, because we know the truth, like, you're not going to be running around like a chicken with your head cut off, you're not going to be worried about shit, you understand, you got the angels right here, okay, you get that, you know you're good, you know your ultimate protection, so this is they're going to see, because people are going to be like, they're going to be freaking out. And then through their teachings, their liberty because they're freedom. Okay, so we're no longer bounded by this 3D world, so we're truly free. So the true children's liberty, the gifts of the 144,000, which is their liberty, okay, is their gifts, is their blessing of not being binded anymore, okay? So that is their liberty. That is freedom from this 3D mentality, from Lucifer's illusion, from the drop. All right? And that liberty, that freedom, that ascension we've all been speaking on will be revealed. I completely agree with this guy on this video, okay? I really do. And God has sent that to me to, one, have a heart. Want to have a heart for my continuing to speak to my Christians. I don't care. I'm going to continue to speak to them because I do have a heart for you. I know so many people who do believe in Jesus. They're not bad people, but you don't know. You don't have no relationship. You don't know the truth. And I'm sorry. Without that, I'm sorry. You're not going nowhere. Guess what? Faith is not believing that God can. It's knowing He will. That's the only difference between the 144,000 and the rest of the world. Seriously. I don't know, call yourself a Christian or not. Because they sing a different song. A song that no one else sings. So their song is truth, right? Because they're sent to spread the truth. So they sing a different song that no one else sings. But yet you already left because you had that truth that they sung, but you didn't hear it yet because they didn't sing until the tribulation. So how can you know the truth that has never been sung ever that will save those? Fuck. Seriously, guys. I mean, it's not that hard. It's not that hard. And like being millennials, being young, not being in the old school, trapped in the old school bullshit. You should be able to do this, guys. We have research tools. We have everything at our fingertips. Why don't you know this? Why don't you know this yet? That's what I want to say. Why does it have to come to September 23rd for you to understand the difference between rapture and ascension? When rapture's never in the Bible, why does it have to come to a difference between getting understanding the catching up of his children? Why does it have to be in the physical sense? Spiritual body and physical body are two different things. Why does God want your physical body? He never wanted you to walk the physical walk. So why would he bring that up there? He wanted you to walk the spiritual walk. So when he brings your spiritual body and sanctifies that knowledge, and then it's still in the physical, sends it back down in the physical. We all know this, our higher selves, whatever. I'm not trying to get into that right now. Just start with that, please. And this is the time of the day. I don't understand. A lot of people don't want to talk about this shit. It's controversial. We don't want to talk about it. Okay, well, guess what? You are not going nowhere. Understand that. If you have that mentality of, I don't want to talk about it, it's controversial. I believe in Jesus, but I don't go to church, and it is what it is. Guess what? Your knowledge isn't sanctified. Guess what? You're not a true child yet. Guess what? Because it does fucking matter. It absolutely does matter. You must know him to get into the kingdom. You must know him, and you must be known. I continue to say that. It's not just about believing. You're not just going somewhere because the pastor said you say a prayer and you're saved. You're only saved by truth. And that truth will be given through the song which the 144,000 sing that no one has ever heard. That is very logical and very rational. And God is a very logical and rational man. Okay? And if he's going to do all this and send his children to speak truth, he will prep them with argument after argument after argument. If you're a Christian, because my grandpa also said this to me, oh, well, there's no point in arguing about this. Like, what do you mean? First of all, it's called a conversation. All right? I say what I see, my sight is on this situation, and then you give me input. Now, if you can't give me input on my insight that is given by the Spirit, there's a problem. And for you to claim that name as Christian, I don't care who you are, there's a problem. You don't see the hypocrisy or the lies. You don't see the gullibility of Christians. You don't see that? I think Christians, out of all, have been the most gullible. That's why it's going to be the biggest surprise to them than anybody. Like an atheist is going to be like, oh, shit. They weren't lying when they were talking about this tribulation or these hard times. Fuck. I am down here. Okay, so it's not going to be hard for them to intercept the truth. But you, who thought you were going somewhere, are too blind to even realize you're already there. And these are the people claiming they know the truth. So, I would just pray. Power and prayer. Go to God. Seriously, get on your knees. You really believe in God? You're a true Christian? Ask yourself. Go to God right now and ask him. Why is this crazy girl telling me that the rapture's not real and she's been a Christian her whole life and she sees through the bullshit? Why is this girl saying these things? Why can this girl use scripture to prove what the fuck the churches have taught is completely not what the Bible shows? Why have the angels reached out to her? Why does she understand that they're really here and truly exist? And why does she? But I call myself a Christian and I don't see. I call myself a Christian and I don't hear. Work on my one-on-one connection with you, King. Show me what needs to be shown, King. If this girl is right and I'm not going there, please prep my ass. Ask him that. Don't argue with me and what I say. Because guess what? What I say, unlike most, I will have pages of arguments to prove to you why I'm saying what I'm saying. I'm not just fucking saying it for no reason. Okay? But others won't. And I mean, that's all evidence is, however you want to go. It's just, it's the person who has the most support is usually found to be the more credible source. That's it. So as a Christian, as somebody who was woken up by the truth of Yahshua, my brother, I am giving the abilities to prep these, which makes me a more credible source than most people. That's all I'm going to say. So talk about, you want evidence, you want all this. And then he said something about, that, like, there was one video, like, he didn't want to ask God for a sign. First of all, where does Christians get that shit? This is a personal walk with your king. I'm sorry, but I've been asking God to lead the way since day one because my mother and my father weren't doing what I knew I needed. So I've been going to the king my whole life. Show me the way. Can you please show me a sign? Because I have no idea what I'm doing down here. That's not wrong to ask your king for guidance. Seriously? Is that a Christian logic? Is that Christian logic? Don't test God. Don't ask him for signs. First of all, you're told to test the spirit, but you're not told to ask him for signs and show me the way. What are you talking about? What are some of you Christians talking about? Like, you talk so much, like, it doesn't even make rational sense anymore. This is why people are laughing at you. You have people laughing at Jesus. That was what you did because you falsified his truth. So now nobody wants to know it. That's what you did. And soon you're going to see that shit. Okay? You don't get to falsify his truth and then just go with it and have others not wanting to accept it because they see the bullshit that it is. You put that bullshit depiction upon his truth. And so now it's the 144,000 who are sent back who have to take that off and show people the truth. Through physical means, because that's the only way the rest of the world will believe. I mean, that's common logic, guys. It doesn't take a freaking genius. I'm not a genius. I did graduate with honors, but I'm not a damn genius, okay? I'm not a genius. I just understand the walk. I just get the walk. That's ridiculous. All right? I'll tell you what. I see, like, the more hood people, the more street people, the people who've really been through it. Those are the people who are going to be saved because they will see the truth. They will see the truth. This is why God says, live your truth. Live your truth. Know your truth. Because you're only going somewhere when you are authentically true. Okay? Be real. Because when you're being real, when you're being authentic, Spirit can reach out to you and show you. Okay? But if you're pretending to be something else, you're going to see shit that you don't need to see or that are going to lead you and steer you, and that's the devil. You allowed that illusion to come upon you because you are not in your one-on-one connection. Most people aren't. I'm just saying it. You're not. That's a joke. That's a joke. Bet you guys, some people who still saying that should probably think the Jews are the 144,000. Or it's just black people. No, you're the child through spirit, reincarnation, babe. You were written in the book since day one. You'll be down here talking when it comes. That's it. Could have been black, white, Asian, all of them. We understand that reincarnation is real as true Christians. That shit's in the Bible too. Have you learned it yet? Why do you not know this stuff? Stop claiming to be something that in following truth when you don't even have these common concepts figured out yet. It makes no sense. That's what my channel is about. I'm so sick of people saying like, what the fuck? And I guess that's what their job is to teach and tell truth. Because people, you guys got this shit so confused. And I'm glad God's showing people in the sense of making that guy say that. Like, if anybody knows anything else about this that can maybe help me or put more perspective on it, yeah. Well, guess what? I made the video. Because God told me to. Because that's ridiculous. And it wasn't him. It was just the logic of that's how all Christians are thinking right now. Yes, you're already in the tribulation. Yes, the second coming is upon us. That's it. Do I believe we have a little bit more time until the second coming? Yeah, absolutely. Do I believe in what happens on September 23rd will wake up people and the reality will hit of the true children and their freedom and their gifts and they will be revealed? Absolutely. But you still got time until once that they're revealed, you still have to learn the truth until the second coming happens. That's it. But let me tell you something. If you don't know that truth, that combination, divine masculine, divine feminine, you don't know Yahshua's truth, and you're saying you're going somewhere and you're out of here and you're claiming yourself to be a Christian, you better check yourself real quick. Check yourself real quick. Go check your pastor and ask them, what the fuck have you been teaching me? That is bullshit. Bullshit. Sometimes I get so infuriated because I'm just like, how can people... Stupidity is the devil, honey. Not using a rational mind with a rational king spiritually, that has led you to be deceived. That's all that is. And most of you are still deceived, which is why we have to go through this bullshit. So that's it. Much love. I love everybody. I do love everybody, even though I'm yelling at you. This is why I'm yelling, because he tells me to. And all I know is and I love my sister out here. She's the I Am Eve. Go check her out, because she's yelling about this shit too. I don't know how you Christians don't know this stuff. And I'm so glad God sent me a sister that's pretty much doing the same thing and saying that. Like, what's wrong with you? And she was also, her father's a Christian pastor. So I'm just glad he sent me another sister who understands the Christian, like, come on, guys. Like, come on. You guys got to help yourselves. And as children, as Jesus did want to show you, like, it is our job. I have such a heart for Christian. That shit makes me cry. That shit makes me cry how many are fools. Seriously, it makes me cry and then it makes me laugh. Like, what the... It's, to me, it's just... But that's... You have to understand. I know I have gifts. Like, I get that. Like, I don't see like everybody else. And that's why where this compassion comes in. You got to be compassionate. I'm telling you, God is going to test your spirit. Test your spirit dealing with people with such low mind frames. Like, stupidity is the devil. Stop being so stupid. That's retarded. It's just insane at this point. And it's detrimental. I mean, common logic, research. You guys have Google. You have YouTube. I mean, we're in a time where there's no excuse to not have searched for truth. So ask yourself again, why hasn't Spirit led you to see these things? Or if he has, like this guy, he has led him to see what I'm talking about. So that's a good thing. All right, guys. Much love. Much love.